Hello everyone, my name is David Grillo. I'm an Ubiquiti certified trainer for all the UniFi and Air Max product line. And today I'm going to show you how to add new sites to the UniFi CloudKey controller with the version 2 firmware. So for those of you that have upgraded your CloudKeys to the new UniFi OS version 2 firmware, you're going to see that inside this new version of the controller you cannot add new sites. So Ubiquiti has getting rid of this new site feature on this new version of the CloudKeys, and now I'm going to show you some tricks and some tips to add this multi-site feature again to your UniFi controller. So, well, I should tell you up front that the CloudKeys are not meant to be used with multi-sites. If you want to use your UniFi controller with multi-site feature, you might have to install, or it's recommended to install the UniFi controller on a PC or on a server. But now, I know some of you have been working with small deployments, and this multi-site feature has become very useful for you. So I'm going to show you how to keep using your multi-sites on your UniFi controller, even if you have the new version 2 CloudKey firmware. Okay, so before we start, right now I'm just showing you the website of wifi-u. This video is being brought thanks to this wifi-u company. We are a company that makes trainings on Ubiquiti and MikroTik, and also the CWNP trainings. So if you want to become an expert on Wi-Fi deployments and outdoor Wi-Fi, outdoor radio links, and Wi-Fi access deployments, you can contact wifi-u. We are all over the country right now doing trainings everywhere, so you just can contact us, call us, or send us an email, and we can get in touch with you and get these trainings done. So the first thing we're going to do now, here what I'm going to do, I'm going to log in to my CloudKey. So right now I have my CloudKey connected to a switch, and also in that switch I have an access point connected on the same network. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to connect to my CloudKey, and I'm going to show you what are the new upgrades and features that my CloudKey has, the new version of the CloudKey has. So this is I'm going to log into my CloudKey. This is the IP address of the CloudKey. Is 251. So this is the IP address of my CloudKey controller. This is the CloudKey Plus. And if you see now, the new controller is going to show up. This is a completely new setup of my controller. I have upgraded and reset this CloudKey. So the first thing is gonna ask you for a device name. I'm gonna leave this name here, UCKP. I'm gonna agree to the terms and next. Now, if you see here, you cannot create a local account to access your CloudKey. Admittedly, now this new version is going to ask you for your username and the password for your actual CloudKey, your actual UniFi Cloud account. You need to have the cloud account in order to use this new CloudKey. If you don't have it, you can go here to create account, and over here is gonna show you all the options to create your new cloud account. I already have a cloud account for Ubiquiti. I'm going to just log into my cloud account right now. And then it's going to ask you for an update schedule. So what is showing you here is daily, or you can set up a weekly. This CloudKey is going to look up to new updates and is going to upgrade automatically. So I'm just going to click next. I'm going to set up weekly, and this is a useful option to send diagnostics and performance information to the UniFi servers. So right now I have the CloudKey with remote access enabled. My cloud account is showing me all the data of the location and the time zone right now. So I'm going to finish here, and automatically starting to setting up my device. So as you can see here, now with this new version, the CloudKey automatically is getting setting up with my cloud account immediately. So if I want to create more users, I'm going to show you now how to create them on this new version of the controller. So I'm gonna wait. Just gonna click here. Let's just wait until my CloudKey is being setting up, and then I'm gonna show you how it works. So while my device is setting up, I just also have to tell you that these new settings are only for the CloudKey. So if you install the latest version of the controller on your computer, you're gonna have some of the old settings already working on the PC. So meanwhile my device is updating, you can another thing you have to do is go into the UI.com website, and you have to download the UniFi controller. So I'm going to log in here. I'm going to go into the website. You don't have to log in anywhere. Just go into the website, go to the downloads page, and over here you just go to UniFi, and you go down here to the software tab and just look for the Windows version, and you're going to download the Windows version of the UniFi controller. So what we're going to do is we're going to download our the UniFi controller, and also we're going to install the UniFi controller on our PC. So let's see if our device has been set up. It says device updating. It's going to update the CloudKey. So after updating and upgrading the CloudKey, now we have been waiting like 5 to 10 minutes for the CloudKey to upgrade. We see now the new portal of the CloudKey version 2. So this new portal is going to show us the network access and the protect software access. So if we go first, we're going to go into settings. What we're going to see here is the new settings portal of the version 2 CloudKey Plus. It's automatically being owned by my account. So each CloudKey this new CloudKey you set up with this new firmware version is going to be owned by your cloud account automatically. Now this is the new version of the firmware, is 2.02.226, and now if you go here to the applications, you can see the network application for the UniFi network equipment, and also you can see the UniFi Protect software, since I'm using the CloudKey Generation 2 Plus. So this Generation 2 Plus CloudKey can support the UniFi Protect software for all the video cameras of Ubiquiti software. So it also supports the UniFi Access software for all the UniFi access control products, and also has this Talk Beta software that I believe it might be supported on the future upgrades. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go here to the local portal, back to the local portal, and now we're going to the network portal. And what we are going to see on this network portal right now is all the network software. So if you go here to the network software, what we're going to see is immediately we go inside the UniFi network controller. We don't have to create right now. It doesn't ask the user to create SSIDs, to create a local account, or all those settings. Immediately you go inside the UniFi network software, and here, if you go to your devices, right now we're going to see our access point as pending adoption. So before we adopt this access point, what we're going to do now, if we're going to look to the add a new site. So because what we want right now is add different sites on this new UniFi controller. So if we look on the settings of this UniFi network, we cannot find anywhere an option to add new sites anywhere. So you look over here, then you look at the settings over here, and there's nothing. So you cannot add a new site on this new controller, and you're not going to find anything. You're not going to find any options where you can add multiple sites on this CloudKey. So what we're going to do now is we're going to leave this access point without management. So we're going to leave this access point as pending adoption on the CloudKey. And what we're going to do now is we're going back to our PC, and we're going to the UniFi. We're going to have to download and install our UniFi controller locally on our PC. So I have already downloaded the software, and I have installed the software already. So I'm just going to run the UniFi controller, another instance of my UniFi controller on my PC. I'm going to show you how it works. This is the UniFi controller, the same UniFi controller version that I'm using on the CloudKey. So if I go back here to the CloudKey, I can show you here in the settings and the controller settings that this is the version 6.0.43 of the UniFi controller. So this is the same version I'm going to use for the PC. I have downloaded from the UniFi website. So I'm just going to wait a few seconds for the controller to start, and then we're going to launch the UniFi controller. So now that we have our UniFi controller started here, we launch the browser. Now it's going to show the settings of this controller on our PC. So if you see the settings, the setup of the controller on the PC is very different than you saw on the CloudKey, right? So it's gonna ask for it's kind of like the older way to set up the controller. So I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna leave this as UniFi network on the controller name. Then it's gonna ask for sign in for a Ubiquiti account. So I'm gonna sign in also to my Ubiquiti account here, and it's gonna put my username, my email, and then I'm gonna put my password the same way I did on my CloudKey. Okay. Oh, this is wrong. Okay, now it's okay. And then I'm just gonna leave these settings as automatic. I'm not going to adopt my access point right now, so I'm just gonna click next. And it's asking me for a Wi-Fi name. I think you cannot skip this now, so I'm gonna put just a Wi-Fi settings. So we're gonna put Wi-fi-u, and then I'm gonna put the password, just a standard password for the Wi-Fi. And you're gonna combine these two and 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, and then here you go. I'm gonna click next and just finish. And now it's gonna set up my controller on my PC. So on the PC, you still have some of the older features of the older controller, and that's where we're going to take advantage of this feature to create new sites and upload them to the CloudKey controller. So we're gonna wait here to the setup of our controller on my PC, and here you go. Send this analysis to Ubiquiti. So what we have to keep in mind there is that this is the main controller that we're going to use to set up our CloudKey. So the only thing we're going to do here we're not, I repeat, we're not going to adopt the access point yet. So what we're going to do here right now is we're going to go, if you can see on this controller on the PC, it's the same version we're using on the CloudKey. So if you go here, it's the same version we're using on the CloudKey, but this controller that have been installed on my PC has right now the multi-site option. So what we're going to do now is going to create a new site. I'm going to put any site. I'm going to put a sample site, and I'm going to submit this site right now. What you have to do is create any site on this controller on your PC. Now I have this sample site now, and now I have two sites, sample site and the default site. So now what we're going to do, we'll go here to settings, and we go down to backup. So I'm going to create a backup file on this controller on my PC. This is going to be my backup file, and it's going to be on my downloads, directory. So I'm going to show here, it's on my download directory. I have this backup file on my PC. So I go back now. I can just go close this controller. I'm gonna close my PC controller, and then I'm going back to my UniFi controller. So I'm just gonna click here 122.168.100.251, and I'm going back to my UniFi OS, and I'm going to network again to my UniFi controller on my CloudKey, and then still I don't have sites, multi-sites over here. I cannot set up new sites, so I'm just going to remind later. I'm not going to adopt the access point yet. I'll go back to backup again on my CloudKey controller, and I'm going to upload the backup from my PC controller. So I confirm here and wait for the backup to restore. So now that we have waited some time, we're just going to refresh this page. We're refreshing the website of the CloudKey, and now we go back. It's going to show us the home page again. We're going back to network, and now it's going to show the controller that we just upload from the backup. And as you can see here on the left side, now you see this little circle above the dashboard icon, and you can see now the multi-site, and you can see the sample site we created on the PC controller before, and now you can go log into the sample site or to the default site, and also you can go over here. Now I'm in the default site, and you can go over here and you can add a new site, and you can start managing multiple sites on your CloudKey controller. So right now we are on the CloudKey controller version 2, and we have the option to add multiple sites on this new version of the controller. So this setting is going to show up, in order to keep this setting showing up, you need to at least have one new site, one site or two sites on your controller. So if you go here into sample, you have to be careful that if you go into your sample site and you go into the settings of your sample site, and then if you go down here, you're gonna have the chance to delete this site. If you delete this additional site you have here, you're gonna lose these settings. So even if you don't need this site right now, if you're not going to use it, you just keep this site working on your UniFi controller on your CloudKey in order to have this multiple site option working. So this is a way to a simple way to add multiple sites on your CloudKey controller with the new firmware version. And now what we're going to do is, now that since we already have the controller we need to run, we're just going to adopt this new access point, and now this our access points, since we already have the controller we're going to use, and this is it, and this is how you add new sites to this CloudKey version 2 controller. And well, Ubiquiti has said that it's going to add this multiple site on new firmware versions. So, but with this setting, you don't have to wait until Ubiquiti launch the next firmware version to add multi-sites on your CloudKey. So this is it. Thank you very much for seeing this video. If you want to see more of my videos, you can go to my to the YouTube channel of Wi-Fi-u. We're going to upload this video to the YouTube channel, and also we're going to upload this video. I'm going to upload to my YouTube channel, so you can see it later, and you can also see some of my videos that I have made before, and some of the next videos. If you want to see more videos for the new settings of the controller, or some more videos I'm gonna create later, you can just subscribe to my channel and see all the videos I'm going to create for you. So thank you very much, and see you next time. Thank you.